the thing about Christian apologists is they like to try to make up stuff. And a lot of them don't really understand how reality works, because they seem to think that because they believe a certain thing, that makes it a true. And that's just not the truth here, especially when it comes to our Constitution. Rick Wiles apparently has never read the Constitution, not even the first part of it, which is real easy because it's separation of church and state. And it also says that we have the freedom to have a freedom of religion in this country, which includes also freedom without religion. And if you have freedom of religion, that you are allowed to worship anything you want to. If I want to worship this cup, I certainly can. I'm not going to, because it's a cup, and there are people out there who believe differently, but Rick Wiles doesn't seem to think that people should be allowed to. Let's take a look at the video. By the way, that is one white ass suit. I'm just saying.
He does look good, and I'll give him that.
And now we have a society that is not only sterile,
apparently he's been putting his phone too close to his nuts because he thinks everybody's sterile now.
Sterilized of God. It's now, Satan is now coming in to fill the vacuum.
Really? Where?
We are still a country that's almost 80% Christian religion. And I think he's meaning in this instance that because we are not 100%, everything else is Satan. For them, it's simple on or off. It's not. They think, in their mind, they think you either believe in God or you believe in the devil.
Yeah, I think he might be referring to, I don't know if you've heard of Lucian Graves, but yeah. He's probably referring to him, which, again, I can't believe I'm saying this for the billionth time. He's a troll. Okay, he's just trolling people like you, Mr. Wiles.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. He is just trolling.
First thing that they had to do was to remove God, sanitize the society, and now they defiled the society. And now it's literally becoming a satanic society.
Sounds awesome.
What did I say? That's exactly what I was just saying. That he thinks that because we don't believe in God, then anything that's not God is automatically satanic.
Satanic society. That sounds like a good name for a rock band.
It does.
This guy's nuts.
Yeah, that goes without saying. But I mean, can you be more specific?
Well, he's talking about on how God has been removed from society. How's that possible?
Yeah, I'd like to know that myself. I mean, I think when he says it's removed from society, I think he means, again, he thinks that this country, because it's not 100% Christian, that they understand that their Christian religion is dying. It is dying on the vine because of their inability to grow. So they think that, well, obviously what's filling it in is Satan, obviously. I know it's incredible. I know it's incredibly stupid.
I mean, and he says that Satan is now coming in to fill the vacuum. No.
Yeah, no.
We have people who openly confess their love and their allegiance to Satan, and it's becoming normal. Right here in Florida, I'm in Vero Beach, and south of us, down in Boca Raton, south of West Palm Beach, there's a pastor who's outraged by what's happening. The city council is going to approve a permit for a satanic display to be put up in the city square at Christmas time that says "One Nation Under Antichrist."
First of all, the point here is, Rick, if you get to have a display in a public place, they get the chance to put something up too. You don't get to say it's only just for this. And if they want to put up something that says Antichrist, that's fine. If they want to say put up a spaghetti monster, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's a public space. You don't get to have full dominance in a public space. What is it with this ass monkey that thinks that only his religion is the only thing that's allowed out there?
What are you talking about, Packard? This is a Christian nation, remember? But getting to my serious point, he acts like the Supreme Court hasn't made this clear to idiots like him, okay? The Supreme Court has made it clear. In the public square, either all religions get represented or none of them do. And just because you have this delusion that this country was founded by your religion, it wasn't. Most of the Founding Fathers were deists. Most of the Founding Fathers not only disagreed with Christianity, they didn't even like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Benjamin Franklin, who to this day is still famous for saying lighthouses serve more use than churches. which I find very true.
He does bring that up. He does bring that up in the video here.
What is happening to this country? We've lost our mind, Greg. We've lost our mind.
Just you, Rick. Just you. And the people who are religious, you've lost your minds if you think that you can tell other people what to do because you believe something.
And the city council and the mayor say, well, these Satanists have their rights too. No, they don't. They don't have any rights.
Since when?
Thank you.
Since when? Since when did the Constitution say freedom of religion except for Satanists? It doesn't. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says freedom of religion. That brings up what I said right at the top of this, is that if you believe a thing, you have every right to believe that thing. And there are Christians out there that will say, well, freedom of religion doesn't mean that you get to be an atheist. Yes, it does. Freedom of religion includes freedom from religion. If you think that freedom from religion doesn't include freedom of religion, then you don't understand what the word freedom means.
You can't have freedom of without freedom from. Yeah, you can apply that to all the rights in the Constitution. You have freedom of the press, and guess what? You have the right to have freedom from the press. You have the right to not watch any news if you so choose to.
Right. This isn't like North Korea, where you have to say, okay, the North Korea's president's going to be on, and you have to watch it. Everybody has to watch it. Like the presidential debates. You don't have to watch that. You can. You don't have to. You can go to bed, or you can go to a soccer game or whatever. You don't have to. You're not going to get shot if you don't.
Yeah, all those things are better substitutes than a presidential debate.
Yeah.
Don't have the right to worship Lucifer. I'm sorry, but this country was founded by Christians. You don't have the right to worship Lucifer.
Actually, again, you're wrong. I can't believe I have to keep repeating this to this idiot. Everybody has a right to worship whatever they want. If someone wants to worship Lucifer, they can. The fact is, those Satanists, they don't worship Lucifer. They are trolls. They're showing you the hypocrisy of your actions. And Ranger, you said it earlier that this is not a Christian nation. We are not founded just by Christians.
Well, yeah, this was not founded on the Christian religion. There's the Treaty of Tripolis. There's the historical fact that most of the founding fathers were deists. They weren't Christians, and even the founding fathers that were Christians believed in the Establishment Clause, which was set up by Thomas Jefferson.
All right. As a matter of fact, I have a page up here that tells exactly what their religions were. Now, this is from the Faiths of the Founding Fathers, a book of American history from David L. Holmes of the College of William and Mary. Holmes approached the topic of religion founders of the United States by analyzing their public statements and correspondence. The comments left by the contemporaries and the views were available of clergy who knew them. Now, first of all, the smallest group of founders who had their Judeo-Christian heritages were advocates of the enlightened religion of nature called deism. They were most of them were pretty much deists. These figures included Thomas Paine and Ethan Allen. The founders who remained practicing Christians, they retained supernaturalist worldviews. They believed in the divinity of Christ and the adherence to the teachings of their denomination. These founders included Patrick Henry, John Jay, and Samuel Adams. Now, Holmes also finds that most of the wives of the daughters of the founders fell into this category as well. Now, the largest group consisted of founders who retained Christian loyalties and practices but were influenced by deism. They believed that little or none of the miracles of supernaturalism inherent in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Holmes finds spectrum of such deist Christians among the founders ranging from John Adams and George Washington on the conservative right to Ben Franklin and James Moore on the skeptical left. So most of these people were deists, or they leaned deist. They weren't all Christian, quote unquote. Now, I want to go back to the freedom of religion now, because again, Rick Wiles thinks that people don't have a right, in his mind, for reasons that people can't worship Satan if they want to. Now, let me just go back over the First Amendment here really quick here. Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion. Doesn't say everything but. Okay, nowhere in that First Amendment of the Constitution. Now, the one that's in your head, Rick Wiles, if that one says, oh, Satanists can't have rights, then the one in your head is wrong. If I had the money, I would take a copy of the Constitution and I would nail it to your door, and I would plaster it, that particular reference, all over every window that you had so you could read it every time you woke up. Nowhere does it say that Satanists don't have a right to worship what they want to worship. But he has an explanation as why he thinks that they shouldn't be able to do it.
In this country, you're going to bring damnation and judgment on the nation.
Okay, and there it is. There it is. If you do a thing, then God will get mad. So don't do that thing. It's an argument from emotion, and it's an appeal to consequences.
They've been saying this for decades. They said this when abortion was legal. They said this when freaking gay marriage was legalized. Oh, you'll bring damnation. It hasn't happened yet, sir.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's appeal to consequences. Like when we had the hurricanes, it's like the reason we had hurricanes is because gay people, because abortion, because Muslims, because
NFL players.
Some Christian, yes, because some Christian used the left-handed trimmer on their right toe, and that pissed off God somehow.
Yeah, it's almost as if natural disasters happen.
Imagine that. If their God was real and they thought that, there was a real punishment, why doesn't a hurricane ever show up, I don't know, say, Alaska or California? It's only in places where natural disasters like that happen. That's why we don't get earthquakes in Florida, okay? If we had an earthquake in Florida and a hurricane in California at the same time, I'm not even going to say we'd even have anything then, because there would probably be a good reason for it. But I mean, the nonsense that they glom onto, the natural events, they go, oh, that's God. No, that's just natural events. These people are just insane. Anyway, do you have any last thoughts on Rick Wiles before we move on?
Sounds like he's a nut job.
Yeah, he is a nut job. He is a major nut job.
I recognize him because he hangs out with Jim Baker.
Yeah, he does hang out with Jim Baker quite a bit. So.
Oh boy, that explains everything now.
Yeah.